With over 7,000 chemicals released every time you light a cigarette, it's no surprise that smoking is one of the world's leading causes of death.
But with 1.3 billion smokers, what really happens when you stop smoking is that within the first 20 minutes, your blood pressure and heart rate return to normal.
While nicotine floods the brain with dopamine, the resulting stimulation often leads to tension and difficulty the sleeping, as seen here.
As 8 hours pass on the clock, the dopamine receptors in the brain visibly decrease, fading gently.
CO2 and O2 take turns binding to the hemoglobin in your blood, which is distributed evenly throughout the circulatory system. So it gets cleaned up, and there's more room for O2. However, in long-term smokers, CO2 exposure is what causes the red blood cells to become larger, making the blood thicker.
And that causes high blood pressure and an increased risk of developing blood clots.
It's surprising to know that 24 hours after quitting smoking, coughing increases, which is the body's way of cleaning up.
All the toxins are out of the lungs. Plus, at this point, the risk of coronary atherosclerosis will decrease within 24 hours. The nerve damage begins to increase. The tar and chemicals are released. The taste buds that had been numbed due to insufficient blood supply now start to regain their sensitivity, making food taste better. Although the addict often leads to permanent damage to the blood vessels in the tongue.
At 72 hours after nicotine withdrawal, headaches, nausea, and cramps peak.
But after this time, the worst is over, and after a month, the risks of developing diabetes. Within 3 to 9 months, the lung cell damage is virtually repaired.
Repair. The cause of symptom natives.
And within a year, the risk of developing heart disease as a direct result of the Roma effect of fatty deposits and scarring. Within 10 years, the chance of developing lung cancer is cut in half compared to someone who hasn't quit. And within 15 years, the risk of heart attack and stroke is reduced to that of a non-smoker. Absolutely no smoking. Of course, these guidelines are not absolute. The average amount of cigarettes you smoke per day or per year will determine how well your body recovers.
Stunted. Unfortunately, there is always permanent damage to the lungs that cannot be repaired and increased susceptibility that